The NBA draft being literally only one day away, I figured I'd make one last video to talk about more of the unknown prospects in this year's draft. And one of these studs came in the way of Xavier Tillman. Xavier is a forward that played for the Michigan State Spartans for 3 seasons. This past season, Tillman averaged 13.7 points, 10.3 rebounds, and 3.3 assists per game on 55% shooting from the field. Now, as the title says it, I believe that Tillman is a Draymond Green clone. So let's break down and take a look at his strengths and weaknesses. Firstly, a lot of Tillman's offensive damage came through the paint. One of the most effective plays that the Spartans ran with him was the high pick and roll between him and Cassius Winston, with Tillman diving towards the rim. In the situation where Tillman did get the ball from Winston, he displayed amazing post moves and footwork that isn't found in most forwards. Despite the somewhat lack of athleticism that he poses, Tillman is able to overcome this through the footwork that he has and just being patient and not allowing for the defense to determine what they want from him. But with Tillman, you're really not picking him because of his ability to play from the post. What makes Tillman so special is how he moves on the offensive end without the ball and his ability to help set up other teammates. Tillman should be seen as the best passing forward in this draft. I know his stats may say that he barely averaged 3 assists per game, but the biggest takeaway is how Tillman can really pass out from any angle. Most forwards coming into the NBA are only able to pass out of potential double teams in the post. But with Tillman, you can have him playmake in nearly every possible way. So many clips this past season, Coach Izzo allowed for Tillman to handle the ball after having a player such as Winston show for a fake receival of the ball, or having Tillman receive the ball in a pick and pop setting. Once this occurred, Tillman would make the correct read nearly every time because he saw the defensive rotations that occurred before the defense could readjust with its help defense. This, in my opinion, screams Draymond Green. Once getting the ball in these situations, both Draymond Green and Tillman are looking to be able to set up their teammates instead of potentially looking for their own mid-range jumper more often than not. The second aspect on the offensive end that is extremely similar to Draymond Green, as mentioned before, is just how Tillman moves around the court on offense. Whether it's him setting on-ball or off-ball screens, him crashing inside to get a second chance opportunity after a miss, or just hustling for loose ball opportunities, you can never find Tillman just standing still. And this went a long way into his ridiculously good plus-minus that Tillman maintained this past season. I know a lot of people don't favor the plus-minus that much as a telling statistic, but if a player is getting enough minutes, the plus-minus is more than telling in how good a player is for their team. As for Tillman, he ranked 12th overall in the NCAA Player Impact plus-minus, and the season before he was ranked 23rd, which made Tillman only the second player in history to be able to accomplish this feat. And again, it's not because Tillman was the main man on this Spartans team. He was nowhere near that. It's just the versatility that he provides that allowed this to happen. Now, Draymond Green is a two-way stud. As good as he is on the offensive end in being able to set others up, he is also an amazing defender. The same goes with Tillman. Already averaging over 3 blocks and steals per game goes a long way into suggesting to the average fan that Tillman is an elite defender. But what I'm more focused on goes beyond the face stats. While his athleticism might limit Tillman in the long-term viewpoint, the biggest benefit that is going his way is just how good he rotates on the defensive end. This man seriously has such a good defensive IQ. As you can see in the clips, there were many plays where Tillman was reading the offense and giving help in situations that was needed. If Tillman is playing off ball, he does an amazing job in recognizing where his man is to where the ball actually is, and does a great job in readjusting himself to be in the right spot on defense. And finally, when having to play post defense, he stays disciplined. He doesn't jump on pump fakes, he doesn't jump on post fakes, and guarded some elite big men that are going to be in this year's draft, such as underrated forward Daniel Oturu. Overall, Tillman is a Draymond Green clone, but he does have some weaknesses like Draymond Green when coming into the NBA. Tillman still really can't shoot the 3-ball yet. He tried this year, but it still wasn't at the level that's needed at the NBA. With this being said though, I can see his 3-point shooting percentage continuing to improve because of how his free throw and 3-point percentages were improving in every season. The other element that I'd like to see Tillman improve on is actually how much he weighs. Tillman currently is the heaviest player in this year's draft at 266 pounds, being 6'8". I don't know how much of this is actual fat and how much of this is actual muscle, but overall, Tillman needs to bring down the weight by a little bit. With only being 1 day away though, as Coach Izzo said it, let's see who gets this new version of Draymond Green. Until next time, peace.